We continue to follow that breaking news out of Springfield. One person is dead after a shooting at a convenience store. Thanks for joining us at 6, everyone. I'm Chris Pisano.
And I'm Jordyn Jagolinzer. Western Mass News reporter Lindsay Kane joins us live now with those details. Lindsay?
Chris and Jordan, this is not the first shooting to happen here at One Stop Plaza on Central Street. Police say today's shooting happened around 10:30 this morning, but Western Mass News has just learned another shooting happened last year in August, also killing one person. This was the scene when Western Mass News crews first arrived today. The entrance of Busy Bee convenience store was blocked off by caution tape. Police say a man died inside from a gunshot wound earlier this morning. Neighbors tell Western Mass News they believe the victim is the owner of the store, but his identity has not yet been released. No other injuries have been reported, but this is an ongoing investigation, so be sure to stick with Western Mass News on air and online for the latest information. Live in Springfield, Lindsay Kane, Western Mass News.
Well, we did see some heavy rain out there this morning, that is for sure. A good swath of it coming from central Berkshire County all the way through Hampshire County. Our Doppler radar estimates anywhere from 1 inch to as much as 3 inches in a few spots in the hills. Most of us, I would say, picked up around 1/2 inch to 1.5 inches of rain with this morning's storms. Even a couple of isolated showers brought some heavy rain this afternoon. Right now, we're actually in between rain. We've got some out toward the coast and another line we're keeping an eye on back off to our west. Now, this line does look like it's weakening a little bit as it moves into eastern New York. This cell here is on the stronger side. So Berkshire County is going to have to keep an eye on this line as it rolls through probably pretty close to 7 p.m. 1 or 2 thunderstorms may still have some strength to them. There is the risk that we do see some thunder and lightning tonight across the valley, but the storms definitely weaken as they move east into our area tonight. 66 degrees right now in Springfield as we look out from our Monarch Sky Cam. Lots of overcast. Dew points are in the low 60s, so it's cool, but it's muggy, and that's the situation we have for the rest of the evening. Temperatures are pretty uniform right now, lots of lower to middle 60s across the area, and dew points are continuing to slowly creep upwards a little bit this evening. It will be kind of a soupy night ahead, but not overly warm. I mean, we're going to end up around 60 degrees tonight. In fact, that's where we're going to be much of the evening, 60s. We do have the chance for a couple of showers from 7 p.m. through about midnight, possibly a few rumbles of thunder as well. Nothing severe expected for tonight, though. After that early round of some showers and storms, overnight's going to be pretty quiet. Mostly cloudy, some patchy fog, lows near 60, maybe a few showers, but unlikely we'll have overnight thunderstorms. Then for tomorrow, a few showers are possible in the morning. We'll get some breaks of sunshine tomorrow, which should bring us into the middle 70s. And there is the threat for some stronger thunderstorms into the early to mid-afternoon. Not a big severe weather threat for Tuesday, but we could have more strong storms like what we had this morning. We'll talk about that in more detail in just a few minutes. Back to you guys.
Janna, thanks. Tenants in Northampton are back in their apartments tonight after being evacuated during this morning's heavy rainstorm as water leaked through the 77-unit building.
Western Mass News reporter Audrey Russo spoke with the president of the company that runs the building, and she joins us now live in Northampton with more on that. Audrey?
Fire officials say it was a clogged roof drain that caused all the leaking and the flooding earlier this morning. But when I spoke to the president of the company that runs the Hampton Court apartments, he said that despite all of that water, he hasn't received any reports yet of any of the units being unlivable.
Everything we are being told to accomplish is currently in progress.
That's an automated message obtained by Western Mass News that tenants of the Hampton Court apartments received Monday afternoon. This coming hours after they were forced to evacuate their units due to a clogged roof drain causing flooding.
Basically, we were with our 3 cats and we just like, okay, now we're getting out of the apartment building.
Western Mass News spoke with Richard Henkin, the president of the company that runs Hampton Court, which has some low-income units. He tells us none of the units are unlivable after the flooding.
There were damages to the hallways on the 5th floor. We had not been contacted regarding any damages to any of the units.
To bring the building back into fire department compliance meant multiple cleanups had to happen at once.
We've got our disaster recovery folks on to come and clean up all of the water. We've got the elevator company on site.
Henkin says this has never happened before, and he's looking to lower the chance of it happening again.
We will get on the roof and we will clean up the mess, and we will make sure that we put procedures in place and systems in place so that it won't happen again, except for another just, act of God.
Now, Hankin says if there was water damage to a tenant's larger furniture or something like that, that it would normally be covered under a renter's insurance policy. Live in Northampton, Audrey Russo for Western Mass News.
Audrey, thank you for that live report. Now for a follow-up to a big story out of Chicopee over this weekend. 2 police officers jumping in to rescue a toddler who'd fallen into a pool currently closed to the public.
Western Mass News reporter Matt Santilli is live for us in Chicopee with those details. Matt.
Chris and Jordan here at Sarah Jane Sherman State Park in Chicopee. A 2-year-old girl ended up in this fence behind me, behind that fence, and into this pool. But the question is how, as the pool is still closed for the season.
The father of the child alerted the officers that he located his daughter in the state pool.
Donna Lishka, spokesperson for the Chicopee Police Department, tells Western Mass News their investigation into what transpired at the Sarah Jane Sherman Memorial Park on Saturday night is still underway. What is known, 2 Chicopee police officers rescued a 2-year-old who had fallen in the pool.
Immediately went to that location, drove their cruisers over to the state pool, where the father then handed the child over to Officer Winat, and he started performing CPR.
One Chicopee resident tells us he was shocked to hear the news.
Honestly, I was speechless, and I am just curious why and how that happened, personally.
We checked out the scene ourselves. The fence around the pool is over 6 feet high, with only 4 inches between the fence posts. And both gates were locked since the pool has not yet opened for the season. Lishka says it's not clear how the child got into the pool. That's under investigation. But she credits police training and quick thinking for the positive result.
Our extensive in-house training that we receive as officers here, and the quick actions of Officer Winat with the assistance of Officer De La Rosa, we had a really great outcome.
And she tells Western Mass News the 2-year-old is out of the hospital.
With wonderful news, the child had been discharged on Sunday and expected to make a full recovery.
Now, we reached out to the Department of Conservation and Recreation, which operates this pool, and we just heard back this hour, receiving a statement in part, quote, "An employee of the pool was there earlier in the day and confirms the gates were locked, but it appears they were later propped open. They are now investigating a likely incident of trespassing from Saturday evening, which may have contributed to the unlocked and open gate. Security footage shows the child entered the gate, traveled to the corner of the pool, and jumped in. The girl's father found her and immediately jumped in the pool and started performing CPR. And we will keep you updated with information on this story as we receive it." Reporting live in Chicopee, Matt Santilli, Western Mass News.
Matt, thanks for that live report. New at 6, Springfield Technical Community College announcing they'll be joining the White House's Campus Challenge by hosting their own vaccine clinic. The clinic will be hosted on Sticks campus, run by Curative, June 24th. That's next Thursday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. The White House initiative is aimed at vaccinating younger populations who federal health officials say are lagging behind on getting their COVID-19 shot.
The Department of Public Health releasing today's COVID-19 data. The state's positivity rate over the last 7 days sits at 0.42%, and there have been 8 new deaths due to the coronavirus. So far, 56.5% of Massachusetts residents have been fully vaccinated. For a full look at the numbers, you can check our free Western Mass News streaming app.
After 15 months, the COVID-19 state of emergency officially ends in the Bay State as of midnight tonight. Western Mass News is getting answers for you on a new bill going through the State House of Representatives on Tuesday that hopes to keep some of those pandemic orders around for a little bit longer, including virtual public meetings, telehealth services, relief for restaurants, protections for evictions and utilities, and emergency room access. State Rep Carlos Gonzalez tells Western Mass News keeping all of these plus to-go drinks for restaurants are among his highest priorities.
We need to make sure that we provide the adequate resource and service to keep people in their homes if they're renting, be able to pay landlords to assist them because we don't want them to lose their mortgages, as well as those that can't afford to pay their mortgages.
The Senate did approve a bill Thursday to keep some of those orders, including the continuation of voting by mail. After the House votes on their own bill, they'll meet with the Senate to iron out any differences between the two before a comprehensive bill can be sent to Governor Baker's desk for his signature.